Y'all be jamming? Because I be jamming. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode with me, your girl, Kalai Shireen. This is Behind the Scenes Bella Podcast. Y'all already know what time it is. Okay, and today we have... Whew, my goodness.
Come on.
This one I need to like breathe, stretch, shake, and let it go. You hear me? You hear me? Because we have an amazing mogul, a pioneer in the game.
Man,
you
do
hear
that.
me? Listen, a prominent engineer.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. I didn't tell you none of that, but go ahead. I love it. Hey, make me feel real good. I'm a mogul. Come on, mogul. Keep going. Read whatever you're reading. I want to know about me.
Off the top.
Hey,
That was off the top.
I want to know about me. Tell me about me. Let's go.
Y'all see, he about to take over the show.
Come on.
He about to take over the show. This man, we call him Big Man, okay? Ahmed Gordon. He is a radio producer. Not just a radio producer, y'all. He been producing on the scene for over 15 years.
Yeah, count them.
Okay? Older than some of y'all kids.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
understand? He ain't new to this. He true to this.
Absolutely.
You understand? Listen, he has been in the radio business for over 15 years, developing number one shows.
Come on, count 'em.
Not the one, not the two.
Not the two,
Number
one.
one shows. Okay, he produced and co-host. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, I need y'all to show some respect. Put some respect on his name.
Please do.
In the building for Mr. Big Man in the building.
Start clapping. Start clapping. Come on. Come on. I'm going to help myself. I'm going to help myself. I love it. I love it. There we go. There we go. I see y'all. Thank you.
Listen, thank you. Look.
Y'all can sit down now. Please stop. But go ahead.
Listen, shout out to Big Man in the building. I am just so blessed and honored to be in your presence. I love being in the presence of greatness. So thank you for agreeing to come on Behind the Scenes Bella Podcast and just saying yes. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't have to say yes. Like, you big out here in these streets. You ain't have to be like, all right, so Kalai said I'm going to come on the show.
No. I have to be here, and you've been doing some great things, and so I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind the drive or the traffic
Ooh,
to get here.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot.
That was love.
It's very-
Because
hey.
Atlanta traffic is very disrespectful.
Especially in this area.
Listen, it's a deterrent from the things that you have to do. When you come outside,
Oh, look.
you set your intentions to go to one place.
Man, I looked at the email I got yesterday, and they told me the time. I looked at the clock. I'm like, ooh. We got to go now.
You started traveling yesterday.
I was like, oh, we going to be late. Come on. We got to go. We got to go.
Let me find out you set out at midnight to get here
Man,
tonight.
look here.
Look, you-
I was worried, 9 in the morning. I was like, man, we got to go to make sure we get there a half hour
I'm telling
early.
you, Atlanta traffic is disgustoramo. Like, why? Just drive.
It's just a lot of us transplants down here. That's all it is. And not enough roads.
Listen, no. Sometimes, and it's Sunday, the girl got me, and I got to confess, because I cursed in the car on the way to church.
It's okay.
Because she had got in front of me. The lane was empty, and she just got in front of me and started eating Pringles.
Yeah.
Like, just was like, I'm like, you ain't got nowhere to go. And then she was like, like, just trying to be smart.
Yeah.
And I went like that. Like, I had put up this finger that's connected to the index finger so she could see it in the rear view. But then I was like, Lord, sorry.
Look. You did it at the best time on your way to church. Yeah. Now, if you have done it after church, we would have to talk.
After I had the word.
We'd have to talk, because now you have to wait a whole week before you can fix that. You know what I'm saying? So now you did it before you went to church. You were good. You had 30 minutes.
Because I ain't get the word up in me yet.
And you were able to flush it out.
Oh, Jesus.
Flush it out.
But you know what? She sent me in the prayer, though.
Oh, come on.
Because I was like, God, you know what? I don't even want to have this spirit.
Right. And you worked
driving into the sanctuary.
But it did, this kind of traffic does do that to you, but you were able to get to the word, get to that church.
I'm telling you.
Pastor said what he had to say and got you right.
Oh, yeah, I came out, I was good.
Right.
Yeah, some folks cut me off and they ain't even bother me.
Nah.
I was unfazed.
We are right here after church. We focused for at least 45 minutes.
45. Depending on how long 45. The line is at brunch, though.
Woo. It could run real quick after that.
That's what I'm saying.
All that good word gets ran out real quick.
I had to wait too long down that toast. Okay, my Holy Ghost was running out.
Gone.
Listen, oh my gosh. So I got some questions to ask you, and these are kind of questions, we always ask folk, is it okay to ask? Is it okay to talk about this? Especially when we got people who are in charge of other people's projects. So we try to be conscientious.
Nobody asked me, but I ain't got no problem.
They didn't ask
no,
you?
Ask the questions now.
Oh, dang.
I got you.
Dang.
I got you.
Well, you know what? See, they ain't doing their job on the back end.
It's all right. No, they did their job. I didn't. What the funny thing was? It was like they did their job and I didn't do mine. They're like, you didn't get the email? I'm like, no, I didn't get no email. Oh, there it is. Oh, I got it. Here it is. Here you go. My bad, everybody.
I was about to say, because you was about to get somebody paid.
No. Don't do that. They did their job. They did their job.
Oh, all right.
I just didn't see
okay, he was non-compliant.
Yeah.
He was non-compliant.
I apologize.
So tell me real quick. So how does one get into the business of being a producer? How does one acquire such a position? That
is a very good question. Because I didn't know I was getting into the job of being a producer.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to be on air. I interned down here in Atlanta. I went to school down here, went to Georgia Southern, then I went to Georgia State. And I was able to intern at State. Exactly. And I was able to intern with Joyce Littell at V103, and I was able to intern at Hot 179 in promotions, and it was one of those things where I'm like, I want to be on air. And so I started putting out feelers after I graduated for on-air positions, and everybody was telling me, you don't have experience. And I'm like, well, how do I get experience?
How do you get experience?
If I don't get a job.
That's like the DeVry commercial, how do I get a job if I never went to school? If I didn't go to school, I didn't get a job. Yeah, no.
That's what I was saying. And I wasn't even going for big cities. Right. I'm going for small cities, and this is back in 2005. So I'm going for small cities in small towns, and try to work my way up. And it just wasn't working out. So I was gonna quit. I was like, well, it's just not for me. I'm gonna go find something else. I'm gonna get into PR or something, right? And so what happened after that was it was like a last ditch effort. I knew somebody who knew my cousin.
Okay.
And she worked in mornings in Chicago.
Okay.
And so she was like, well, just reach out to her and see what she possibly
see what she got going on.
And I said, okay, cool. So I sent out an email, and Nikki Woods from the Crazy Howard McGee Morning Show in Chicago, WGCI, and she emailed me back the same day. And she's like, you know what? We just fired our board operator. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I didn't know what a board operator technically was. I'm like, okay,
what's that?
What's that? But I'm like, whatever. Is it a job that I can do?
Y'all paying?
Exactly. And so she said, yeah, we fired him, so apply for the job. So I applied for the job. Literally, this all happened within 3 days. And the boss, the program director, his name is Elroy Smith, and in the radio business, that was a big deal. I didn't know who Elroy Smith was.
Right.
I mentioned it to somebody else. They're like, you talked to Elroy Smith?
You talked to Elroy?
It was like one of those things. And I'm just like, yeah. He emailed me back, you know? And long story short, he flew me up to Chicago, had a meeting. And
I know that's right, getting flued out in 3 days.
Exactly. Flew out for a day. I almost missed a flight, flew up to Chicago, the same day, flew back to Atlanta. And after our interview process and everything, he asked me how much did I want. Now, I remember like some of the jobs at V103 and at Hot 107.9. I remember some of the jobs and what they were paying. So I said $6.50 an hour.
Okay.
I said, yeah, $6.50 an hour. That'll do. Like, it was like minimum wage, whatever. And he started laughing. And I'm like, ooh, I asked for too much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, ooh, I asked for too much. Right. He's like, yeah, I think we can do a little better than that. You know what I'm saying?
He like, yeah.
And he took care of me. He paid me the $35,000 that I was shocked to get. And by the end of the week, I was in Chicago working. So I flew back to Atlanta, packed my bags, and drove back to Chicago and started working starting the following Monday.
Oh, I'd have been in the Windy City.
Gone. I was gone. I was out of college. I was about to quit. I was about to quit my radio dream because no one was hiring me to be on air. But they gave me this board op position. I had no clue. But that board op position was basically an assistant producer job. And I learned like from the best just being in that room, a #1 morning show, around one of the top talents in the country and one of the top producers in the country. I learned everything from that man, Art Porter. Art Porter was the executive producer of that show. In Chicago, he had the shooting. You hear about the shooting and everything like that. This goes back years. And so whenever a shooting would happen or somebody would die, next thing you know, we'd have their mother come on the show. I'm
on
like,
a radio show.
How are you getting these people to come on?
Yeah.
And their child just died 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He's just like, you have to make connections. You have to be able to understand the city. You have to understand who works in the city, who's connected in the city, and how they're connected too. Because this is before social media was big.
That's right.
And so I'm learning from him because he's tapped into the city. So he knows the police officers. He knows the sergeants. He knows the chiefs.
Right.
He knows the mayor assistant. He's like, you have to be plugged in to whatever city you're in because you're going to need everybody to be able to get, what you need. And so I learned that that was one of the first lessons I learned.
Yes.
And his Rolodex cost. It was like if you wanted access,
to
his Rolodex,
right?
He's like, because people would come to him all the time, like, Art, can you get me this? Art, can you get me that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like a connector, It's gonna cost.
It's gonna cost you.
Might cost you a little.
It might cost you a little. Might cost you lunch.
But it's
cost
gonna cost
more than that. But it's gonna cost you depending on who you asking for.
That's right.
And he never missed. So that was one of the big things. So when you ask me how do I become a producer, I don't know how you become a producer because I think it just happens.
Right.
Because most of the producers that I know don't start out trying to be a producer. That's not what we're trying to do.
Okay.
We're trying to do something else, and then we end up
producing.
Look, right,
against your will.
Right. No, honestly, it's like, okay, on my way to being this, I'll do this for a little bit. And then 15 years later, I'm still doing this.
Right.
But, it's just one of those things where you get good at it. And I've said this before, and this is for radio. I don't know about television, how people feel. But in radio, I always call being a producer a dead-end job. Only because if you're extremely good at it, they don't want to get rid of you.
Right.
They don't want you to go anywhere. And they want to keep you where you are because, especially in radio, there's not many producers left. And for people who have my experience in syndication, working on a national level, I can count on maybe two hands. So whenever a job opens up, it's like there's only a few people that can do that job.
So would you say, like, because I know you said that wasn't your thing, how did you transition from wanting to be talent to being behind the scenes?
I got good at it.
Like you just was like, you know what, I actually should probably be.
Yeah, no, I got good at it, and I did the on the air stuff didn't leave me because I would get little bits and pieces here and there on during the show. The host would throw it to me a couple times, so I got a taste.
But I can imagine how effective you were doing your job because you knew what it was like to sit in their seat as well. So that helped you be more effective.
No, absolutely. The cool thing about being a producer is knowing everybody's job.
Right.
If you know everybody's job, done everybody's job, it's very easy to work and lead a team as well.
Right.
Because the thing about being a producer is you have to be, the first description of it was you have to be the drummer.
Yeah.
You have to set the pace, set the pace, set the
tone.
the beat, the tone of the entire show. You have to know the personalities. You need to know who you're working with. You have to understand that, this person may not be good with this kind of story. This person might not be good with this kind of interview. This person might not need to be around this other person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For these segments. So you need to be able to understand your people, understand how to critique your people without them feeling that you're, treating them like dirt. And like some people need a push. So,
they do.
So as a producer, you have to wear all these hats, but also being in their seat at one time or another, doesn't matter how big or small you were, you get to learn what their job entails.
Right.
And then you know how to talk to them and understand where they're coming from when they talk to you.
Right. So say, for instance, a person, like and this is your camera right here. So if you're looking at the audience, like, and you got a deep moment, you see, that's what we need. Like yes.
Okay.
The smolder.
Yeah.
You see, smolder. Ooh. Yes. That's what we need. Okay. So
okay.
So when
right.
you got it, what would you say? What would you say to them?
About I'm trying to find it. Come on. I'm ready. I know. I'm here. Now I'm here. I'm with it now. I'm right here.
That would want to produce, but they don't have a cousin or the auntie to call for a position. Like, how would they get in?
How would you get in?
Yeah.
Good luck. I'm not.
With the smolder.
I'm not. Good luck.
You said good luck.
Good luck. No, because it's not. This is not something you just get into.
You got to know somebody.
You have to know somebody, and that's what these internships are about. Like now, it's everybody's getting an internship. They want to pay an intern. The internship is to get to know people. The internship is to be able to put it on your resume that I worked at this place and I did these things.
Right.
That's what the internship is for. The best way to do it is nowadays social media.
Oh, yeah.
These producers need assistance.
Yeah.
They need help, and if you can barter your services to them somehow, some way, because here's the thing. With social media being the way it is, here's a good idea. You can hit up a producer on social media, and then what I would suggest is barter, saying I could do some social media, find some stories for you. Mm-hmm. I can find this for you. I can find this for you. I can create digital, pieces for you. And what I'm saying is I'm actually for free. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get close to them. You're trying to show that you're worth something, because now they're saying, man, this person is really good. Mm-hmm. An opportunity opens up, they'll bring you in. Yeah. Because this person knows digital, this person knows this, they can do this, they can do that. Yeah. But you've shown it to them because you did it for them on a whim. Yeah.
But that's so important. I tell people all the time, like, sowing seeds not just always money. Like, I sold my time in a lot of places where I didn't get no money. Right. It was just I just showed up. I participated. I showed them what I can do. Mm-hmm. Like, and I would make it known, like, listen, I'm going to be here. I'm going to help you out. But, eventually it's going to cost you, because I know my worth. It's just that I'm extending myself to you so that
That's key. Yeah. That's key. And it's something that took me my entire career to figure out. Oh, yeah. I expected people to treat me the way that I would treat others. No. You will not get that. You're expecting payment based on the work you've done that everybody notices. Oh, yeah, no. But until you open, you got to ask. So when I talk to you about bartering and telling you this is what I want to do, like you said, you better tell them this is what I want. Yeah. This is what I'm shooting for.
Yeah, this is my end goal. Ain't nothing wrong. Game. But listen, y'all, it's nothing wrong with saying that. Like, I can remember even when I was managing a Save-A-Lot grocery store after I had my son. I went in there. I said, what positions y'all got open? And he was like, oh, only meat and produce. I said, listen, how about I work meat and produce for the next 30 days? If you see that in 30 days I am able to be your front-end supervisor, then I would like that position. Because they said, oh, we don't got no cashier, no front-end. I said, I'll be back there. I'll do my thing with this section, and in 30 days we'll revisit. By the 29th day, the regional manager was in the store, and I got promoted to front end supervisor. Right. And I was training for meat and produce after that, because it's like, I'm gonna show you what I can do. Yeah, I'm gonna take this entry level, whatever you got, for me, because I appreciate the opportunity. But this is where I need to be at, though.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I just never. I've always expected, like, for my work to speak for itself.
There we go.
And it does speak for yourself. It talks about how great a worker you are. It also lets them know, man, we're getting all this great work for this really low price. Right. I wonder how long does it take for him to realize that he's getting the low end of the stick. But as long as he's doing the work, we're not going to say nothing.
Then we good to go.
So you have to speak. I know there's some companies that will do things like they'll make you fear to speak. Like,
for sure.
Like you're replaceable. Well, we'll find somebody else to do what you do. And that was the fear that I had in me, because being in radio, you're like, well, man, they can get rid of me. It's hard to find another job. It's hard, to do this.
I mean, all of that is true, though, still.
No, it's very true. But the thing is that at the end of the day, you can't fear that, because now at the position that I'm at now, I let them know what I want. Yeah. I can't. I'm like, I can't let another 6 years go by. Right. And I don't get what I need to get out of this job.
But you know what? See, that's when you master self. You got to really master that. I know my abilities. I know what I can do. And you ain't going to find another me. Yeah, you might be able to find somebody.
But you're not going to find me.
But I'm true to this. You see what I'm saying? And the display that I bring, ain't nobody going to bring this. They ain't going to bring the pizzazz, the flavor, the zest, nothing that you need.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they talk about replacing you, and then when you decide to quit, all of a sudden they find money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they find. Oh, they got all the money.
All this money comes from. Where'd all this money come from?
They done hired 2 more of you, too. You be like, well, God,
man.
They had it all that time.
It's amazing what they can find when you say, I'm about to quit.
You be like, well, I got 2 more. Well, look, on the lineup.
All right. Let's do it.
But you know what? That's it. Like I said, that part of it is true, because we got kids that's coming out of college, you know what I mean, that can get paid a little less. You know what I mean? And they are working on the job, getting training while they are, maneuvering. Absolutely. So it's always
something. And, and the cool thing about right now, social media is what it is, that even though I'm telling people to take less for their job, there's a lot of people out here that are making good money. Yeah. Being digital assistants, handling, all this stuff. So it's like, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you can, if you are interested in getting into this work, getting into radio, you might have to compromise just a little bit just to let people understand and see what you can do for them and for them to bring you along with them.
Especially when you got people that's really adding value. They want to see. Because it's like, I ain't just going to give you just because
like you
said.
You give them the terms of what you're trying to do.
Right.
I'll give this to you you have 30 days. And within that 30 days, you have to decide whether or not you can use me in a capacity where it gets me in.
Some of them don't even get 30 days with me. I give them 2 weeks.
And it's like, but if they show you what they can do, you bring them on because
then I see. But I tell them all the time, I got this amount to donate to charity.
Yeah, and no, exactly. That's right. No, I'm sorry, you're right. The donation of your time. I ain't got 30 days. I can show you in 2.
That's what I'm saying.
I can show you in 2
This
weeks.
is your amount that I can donate to charity.
Right.
If you can't perform within that time,
absolutely,
then we gone.
Absolutely,
that's it.
You're right.
Yeah, that's it.
You are absolutely right.
So, I mean, 15 years, you had to have seen some.
Oh yeah.
Some stuff.
Oh yeah, some great stuff, some wild stuff, some weird stuff.
Look, he done seen some stuff, y'all, in 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, like, tell me, you got any dirt? Look, from behind the scene.
Dirt?
Any tea?
Dirt I would never give.
Well, not dirt, tea.
Now,
tea is sweet.
Tea I can
with
give,
the lemon.
and I withhold the names, and if they ever see this,
look
they'll know
with the
what
lemon
I'm
in it.
Right.
Look,
I think my favorite story in radio is the day that my host got drunk on the air.
Oh shoot!
We were, having a going away party for one of the other co-hosts. They were having their own show, and so this man who I didn't even know drink anything walked in at 5 a.m. with just all sort of alcoholic beverages,
just a fifth of gin.
So we were all partaking. We were all partaking. Everybody on the show was intoxicated.
Everybody drunk
at this point, and then he started saying some wild stuff, some wild stuff off the air that sobered everybody up.
Well, a drunk mind speaks sober words.
So and it's one of those things where when you do a job interview, it's like, tell me a time that you worked under pressure.
Yeah,
that was pressure because I had to keep him off the air for the rest of the show, bring everybody else in, and finish the show without him being on the air, but he was there.
He was that fried,
that gone, and talking that loose. And so I had to.
Who was he giving up? The secret society or something? Look, he just started talking.
He was talking a little inappropriately to some of the females in the room.
Ooh,
and and that was
look.
We just had to tighten it up.
Reel it back in.
And bring everything back in.
Right, reel it back in.
That was a great meeting after that.
Look, back to you, John.
Look hey, that meeting with our boss afterwards was like, yeah, that was one. That was a wonderful meeting. Also, finding out one of your hosts is getting fired in the newspaper. When we read newspapers, Steve Harvey has a syndicated show, so he's all over the country.
Yeah.
But he was replacing the morning show that I was on.
Oh wow!
And in the paper, it got
I remember that too. Yeah.
And he replaced saying Steve Harvey in, this person's out.
Wow.
And so we're in the studio, don't know anything about this. We come in, and I walk in, and the co-host, she's like, "Have you seen this?" She showed me the paper. I'm like, "Oh." And then I'm like, "Has he seen this?"
Right.
She's like, "I don't think so." He comes walking in 5 minutes later. He's whistling, having a good day. He had a great day today. He sits down, and I just see everything go away. I see him see the paper, see the corner where it's at, and I remember starting the show. Music comes on. I turn his mic on, and he's still staring at the paper, and he tells me just to keep going.
Wow.
He doesn't talk the entire show.
What?
He doesn't say a word the entire show.
What?
Every break we do, it's either somebody else talking, but he ain't.
Are you serious?
He doesn't talk the entire show. Come to the last hour of the show. He usually just does it by himself, the last hour. He starts talking because the phones are blowing up. People's like, "Man, have you seen this? Is this true?" Blah, 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 blah. At the last hour, he starts talking about
the Steve Harvey
piece. And the bosses, you see all the bosses start coming in the hallway, and we're like, "Oh, And they're in the hallway. They're like...
But that was wrong. They could have...
They didn't tell us anything. They didn't call us during the show. They didn't say anything to us. Now he's just talking, just in case. He goes, just in case this is my last day.
That's what I'm saying. They could have better...
He's just talking. He's not talking crazy to anybody. He's just saying thank you to the city. He's just saying thank you to the thing.
You know what? You took a good way out.
Yeah, so he's just... But the bosses start coming down, so now they're panicking. They go in and they let him have it. They say, who said you didn't talk to us about it, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, y'all didn't answer your phone. Y'all didn't answer your phone, so I assumed I'm out. You know? They have a meeting with us and say, no, we're not going to let you guys go. You guys are, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. 2 weeks later, they fired everybody. Dang. Except for me and the comedian. And I was just there to run the boards for Steve Harvey.
Dang.
And it was just done after that. But it was like they make this big hurrah about how they're not doing that, blah, 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 yada, yada. And then they fire everybody 2 weeks later. So it's like when you're in
wasn't nice.
When you're in the business, it's sad, but you really can't trust anybody, especially in management.
Oh, I just watched this. You cannot.
You can't trust anybody. I
just watched this.
You can want to trust them, but technically
it's a business.
It's a business. They can't tell you what's going on.
This is a business.
There's been several times when I knew stuff that I couldn't tell my host.
Yeah.
I can't tell him that. If I tell him this, he's going to trip.
Yeah.
I can't tell him. I know it's coming. And what I try to do is lessen the blow, especially when I know it's about to hit.
Yeah.
I might, when he can't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
I might talk to him.
Yeah.
But there are parts of this.
Because they could sabotage and
you can't have that. So you can't trust management because they have to keep things from you because at the end of the day, they have to protect the bottom line. So they can't just have you being out here being a loose cannon. They couldn't have him being a loose cannon for 2 weeks. They don't know if he was going to take it well or not. He could be good today, but not good tomorrow.
But that's how they see people set tripping online, where it's like, oh, they just, such and such just went off on a tangent. No, that's because they done found out some ish that was withheld from them, and they upset and they mad, and then they wheel them back in. Listen, well, calm down.
Well, that's why people always be wondering, especially in radio. It's like one day they're there, and the next day they're gone.
Yeah.
They say, well, why didn't they get? You can't give everybody a farewell tour. You can't give everybody a Pat Sajak. This next year's my last year.
Whole anniversary thing.
Like you can do it with Tom Joyner because it's Tom Joyner.
Right.
But not everybody. You can't trust everybody to do that. Not everybody's big enough to get that because, to be honest with you, you can talk about people. I'm not gonna listen again because they're gone. No, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna replace this person. You're gonna listen to this person. And we're gonna keep it moving. And that's how it usually is.
Damn. You see what he just told y'all? You gonna listen.
You're gonna listen. The audience is gonna listen.
You gonna get this.
Yeah, for the most part. When you look at Good Morning America with their situation, they're gone, and their ratings really haven't changed.
Even with Tamar with The View, I felt like she kind of got that.
You mean with The Real?
Yeah, with The Real.
She was
not
gone,
with The View, with The Real.
And people said they weren't going to watch it. People kept on watching.
They kept on watching.
And they kept on winning
not
awards.
The View. Shout out The View. I like y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
The View's
The Real.
Same way. They kept on rotating people in and out.
Yeah.
Still number one.
Yeah.
Still number one. Barbara Walters gone. Still number one.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell there. Still number one.
Yeah.
Rosie gone. Whoopi's in there. Still number one. It's like, are they important? Yes.
They are.
But can they be replaced? Yes. So even though I said earlier that, you can make it hard to be replaced.
Oh, they boycotted for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Strong.
You can make it hard to replace somebody.
Yeah.
But you are replaceable. Yeah. Everybody's replaceable.
Yeah.
The question is, how hard are you going to make it for yourself to be replaceable?
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's it. You got to make yourself so indispensable that can't nobody do
what you do. Or they have to hire multiple people to do what you do.
To perform. And it ain't going to work for the budget. Look, just keep them.
Yeah, just keep them. So I mean, those are the type of things you have to think about when you're working in this business. Yeah,
I can, but so see, I got so many questions for you, but we
fire him off real quick. I know I saw him wind you up. Don't worry about him. I've wound people up. He's seen me wind people up before, and they ignore me. Go ahead.
Y'all don't be caring. Y'all be seeing the producers do like this, and y'all be anyway. So
because it's happened to me. It's happened to me. He hasn't done it to me, but it's happened to me. Go ahead and ask 2 more questions. I give you permission. Don't you worry about him. Don't worry about it. He's worked with me before. It's okay. It is okay. I've wound people up before, And they keep on going. I'm like, maybe they didn't see me.
See, y'all can't see the behind the scenes stuff, because when we do a podcast and we got real teams, they be like, all right, we got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and what they don't know is that the person that's behind the scenes wrapping it up has worked extensively with me at other jobs. And I'm not wrapping it up right now. Go ahead and ask your question.
We staying on 20 more minutes.
Go ahead. You got 7 minutes. Let's go. Come on.
Listen.
Ask a couple more. I'll keep my answers real short and concise. Let's go. I got you.
So listen, I know you have a baby boy.
Uh-huh.
Are you still with his mother?
Yes, I am.
You
my
are.
Wife.
That's your wife.
Yes.
Look, he was like, bam.
My wife.
Listen.
Absolutely.
How long y'all been married?
How old are you? 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
So you had to gauge it by how old your son was?
Yeah, because, he came right after.
What? Men don't be remembering dates for nothing. They be like, I think we've been married. When did Obama get elected? Look, they be...
No, you know why? I'm telling you why. Because she's been pushing this 10 years together, 8 years married. So now I'm like 10 years, 8, 10, 10.
Right.
I've been doing that, but no, 8 years. We've been married.
But she said that 5 years ago.
Right.
Y'all really like...
And then she was asking me what we're going to do for our 10 year. And I'm like, it's 8 year, and we're talking about 10. I'm like, oh, my God. So 10 has been on my mind a lot lately. So, no, it's been 8, though. We've been married.
Oh, that's what's up. So how would you say, 8 years of marriage, how did you sustain through those ups and downs of, getting to know her several times over? Therapy.
So
y'all actually go to therapy?
Absolutely.
Sit on the red couch, pay people and sit. Okay. All right.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for therapy.
So that really works.
Yeah. Because the thing is, when it comes to therapy, you have to talk about, because when we went to therapy, I thought she was crazy.
Did y'all go in the same room together?
Yeah,
or
together.
Together.
Okay. Because I went there, my mindset was fix her.
Oh.
I was like, fix her because she don't get it. And then when the therapist started talking,
fix you.
And I was like, oh.
It's you.
That was, I could do that. That's my fault. That's on me. That's on me. You right. That's on me.
That's
and
on me,
it
baby.
was like another thing and another thing. I'm like, okay, maybe we need to figure this out.
Look, and you was the one who initiated it.
Yeah.
See, loud and wrong.
Very loud and wrong. But the thing about therapy, the thing that I loved about therapy was you realize how much your past makes you.
Oh, yeah.
Childhood traumas.
Yes.
Even the traumas you didn't think that were traumas.
Yeah.
Are trauma. You know, and that's why after therapy, I was just like, man, please don't screw up. Just don't screw up my kid.
Yeah.
Because it's like even the things that you don't think about, that are big deals can come back. And manifest in a different kind of way. So for me and her, it was just good to understand what could be triggering us, our reactions, and how we deal with certain things, deal with stress, deal with things. And it's helped tremendously. Wow. I suggest y'all do it before you get married.
Yeah.
Do that first. It's okay to go in there and say, you know what, this may not work.
Listen. I've had 4 proposals. So each time, I've gone to marriage counseling. I've been through Marriage Beyond the Vows. I've been to the Art of Marriage. I did 12-week cycles with the person that I was going to marry. And I found that they did this one exercise that it was, you had a suitcase. And both of you guys were going on a journey, but you only had one suitcase with you, with your spouse. And it was other groups of couples in there that were doing the exercise with us. And say for instance, you like Crest shampoo, or your wife likes Crest toothpaste, and you like Colgate. She likes Olay, and you like Dove, or you want your basketball, she need her shoes,
and you did toilet paper going backwards or forwards. That's very important.
All of these things are important, but guess what? They all have to be able to fit inside of the suitcase for y'all to travel together. So when we were doing the exercise, and this is y'all got to do this at home, even if you don't pay a therapist, just get a suitcase and do the exercise. So he put his basketball in there. He put the basketball in there. I'm like, well, I need my pocketbooks. You know what I mean? My bags got to come. You know what I mean? Closet space. So he was like, well, I only like Crest 3D. And I was like, well, I don't really bang with Crest 3D. I actually like, my Colgate.
And that ended it right there.
And he was like, but my toothpaste is, so it got to come. So I was like, all right, well, both ours can go in there. And he was like, well, I like my TV shows, my subscription, everything. We piling all of this stuff in here of what must come. By the time the exercise was done, we couldn't even close the suitcase.
Right.
So they said, how are y'all going to travel together if y'all can't even pack a bag?
Right.
Y'all can't even
travel together. How can you live your life together?
Yeah.
And not able to compromise and work
on
together
nothing
on anything. It is something, especially when you work in the industry.
Yeah.
And my wife's also a nurse, and she goes to school.
Oh, I'm a nurse too. Nurses matter.
See, and
Nurses
you know your
matter.
schedule. You know your schedule. You
12,
know
12.
what you need. All this stuff. And for me, and I have certain needs when it comes to work and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it's the compromise, the communication. I thought I knew how to communicate until I got married. I can talk to anybody, any time of the day, interview people. I can do all that. When it comes to sometimes communicating with my wife, it's like, whatever you want, whatever you say.
Right. You don't hear nothing.
I don't want to argue. I don't want to do nothing. You got it. And of course, that never ever ends well with her.
Because it's like, well, why I got it? Why you don't have no response?
Exactly.
So you trying to be smart? You know?
See, you're triggering me.
Oh, I know.
You're triggering me. Don't do that.
Because women don't like that. Don't be so, well, babe, whatever you say. But why is it whatever I say? Because I want to know what you said and what you thought.
Of course.
Yeah, don't be so accommodating.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to take it like you being funny.
There it is. See, that word. See, there you go. Funny. I'm not being funny. I just want to be left alone.
Right. Just trying to get me out your face. Look,
Please, let's talk about this later, as in never.
Never. Right.
Ever again.
Right. That, ladies, y'all hear that? Later. Right.
Ever
yes.
Again.
Later for men is never. Okay?
Ever again.
We're never bringing this back up again.
See this rug right here? See that broom?
Yeah.
Let's make use of it.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And you be like, see, you know what? That's why. Look, that's when it come into that.
And then you're like, okay. What else do you want to know about? I'm like, you win.
Now they forced you into a conversation.
I tap out. Jesus.
Yeah. Whatever the answer is.
Yeah, so you have to work in your communication. You definitely, when it comes to marriage, you have to work in your communication, and it's not just as black and white as you would think it is.
Yeah.
There's that gray area that you have to work through, and as annoying as it is, you have to work through it.
Yeah.
Because if you love that person, you know, hey man, look, I've seen my friends that are still dating. It ain't nothing out here.
Listen,
ain't nothing out here for
it's
you.
PP in the dating pool.
If you can work it out, if it's something that's work outable, then work it out.
Yeah,
Definitely work it out.
Work outable.
Mm-hmm. That's a word.
Yeah, it is. I know. It rolled off the tongue real good. So what you working on now? Are you producing now? Like what you got going on now?
Well, right now I'm working at iHeart Black Information Network.
Shout out to
have
iHeart.
a show on the weekends that is called The Black Perspective, where I do long-form interviews along with other anchors from the Black Information Network. Please check it out. BINnews.com.
Yes.
And I'm working with some different podcasts right now, helping them, consulting, managing, and things of that nature. So I'm doing that as well. So the Mind of Med podcast will be coming back out shortly.
Okay.
And
I love it.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things it's been coming out since like 2019. So
you know what? It's getting ready to drop.
It's gonna drop. It's definitely gonna drop.
Ready to drop.
I've had a lot of push lately. Let's just say that.
A lot of inspiration.
Yeah, my website is down right now, but that'll get corrected. That's gonna get corrected.
That is a true entrepreneur story.
My website is down right now, but it's going to be corrected by somebody in this room.
Listen,
I'm touching and agreeing with you. Touch and agree. Yeah, my website will be up.
Listen.
By next week.
Listen, glory be to God. Listen.
Thank you so much. Amen.
What is your Instagram name? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
You can find me anywhere at Big Med. BIGMED. The website will be up.
Next week it's dropping.
Yes.
I hope y'all ready.
Yes.
Listen, Big Med, we gotta can we add another hand clap applause into the segment for Big Med being on?
Tom, give me a hand clap.
Listen, we need the hand clap situation, like make it like like we need all of that for Big Med being in the building right now. This is another episode, y'all. Amazing episode. Thank you, Big Med, for coming on. This is your girl, Kalai Shireen, with Behind the Scenes Bella Podcast. I love y'all. I love everybody. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Adios.